Welcome! I am a llama, on account of looking like a llama. So you got cheap, you got rare, you got looks good. You can't typically have all three. But if you look in the right places, you can find some exceptions. I've made 2 videos before about cheap and rare skins, but with a limit of $5. I want to go all the way up to $20 because that frees up a lot of options. So here are my top 10 picks for cheap and rare skins in Counter-Strike 2. Last thing, this won't be the absolute rarest skins you can get. I'm mainly going to be sticking to the highly used weapons and skins that look good. Before we get into it, I want to thank this video's sponsor, Skinsearch. Skinsearch is the best place to find the best prices possible on the CS2 skins you love. It was created by Sparkles to help the community find their dream skins. They will automatically search all the largest marketplaces for the lowest prices available. And if you come over to the inventory tab, it will display a ton of information that your Steam inventory does not, including my favorite, the prices of your skins on different marketplaces in a ton of different currencies. All this is not even mentioning that Skinsearch also has the best and easiest trade-up calculator I have ever used. Highly recommend you check them out, link is in the description and the pinned comment. Huge thanks again to Skinsearch for sponsoring this video. Okay, at number 10, I have gone on record trashing this skin before. It's the green laminate and yeah, it's pretty rare. I stand by that it's the worst of the laminate skins, but there's also only 42,000 of them registered, and all the other rare AKs are expensive as hell. This is a skin you're probably gonna have to craft on, but you get yourself some Imperial Hollows from a major of your choosing and boom, you got a nice skin. I will give credit where it's due though, because I think this skin has a lot going for it. It's pretty rare, it's only about $17, and it's in the 2021 Vertigo collection, which not many people drop. The only thing it really doesn't have going for it is that it does not look great, hence why it is at number 10. Real quick, if you're enjoying the video, consider liking and subscribing. I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers, which is insane. Thank you so much. Moving on to number 9, I gotta go with the Blaze. So I know this is not a commonly used gun, but hear me out. It's only about $16, there's 45,000 registered on float, and also it is one of the best skins in the game, not to mention it's just a blaze, it's just sick. What is there not to love about this thing apart from the gun? It's in the Mirage collection with the Mag 7 bulldozer above it, so it's mainly used for trade-ups, which means it might get more expensive in the future. The MP9 Hot Rod is also in this collection, and obviously the MP9 is a way more popular gun, but the Hot Rod, which is the same rarity, costs $140, so there is room for growth if this thing ever becomes meta again. But I will say that is quite unlikely. Don't buy this thing thinking you're gonna make money. Unless you're stupid, like me, in which case, that's fair. I'm gonna be honest, I just think the Blaze is a cool skin, and this is a really cheap way to own one. Okay, I am not sure I've seen number 8 in game yet. It's the Tech 9 Titanium Bit with 56,000 registered on float. This thing is kinda old like a lot of these skins, but I'm not sure this one deserves to be completely forgotten. The spiral on the barrel is pretty unique, even if the skin itself is kinda low resolution. Didn't stop people from buying the Lightning Strike though, I'm just saying. It'll only cost you about $5 for a minimal wear, and I think this is one of the few skins where the scuffs work on it. It adds that construction feel of it, which I quite like. If you want to round out the construction collection, get yourself a AK Safety Net and M4 Imminent Danger. I think some caution gloves would go great with it also. Alright, next up I think is so much of a banger I bought myself one. The armory turned out to have way better return on investment than we all thought, but one thing that isn't great is if you get a purple skin from one of the collections. And there's one specific one that I had been eyeballing for a while, and I finally bought it. There are only 38,000 M4 Polysoups registered on float right now. So let me tell you why this is one of my favorite picks here. First off, it's in the graphic collection, which is easily the least opened out of the 3 armory collections. Like seriously, there's 10,000 more Be the Monsters registered than Ops CMYKs. And while I'm not sure how the CMYK will do long term, I know that the Deagle Starcade will probably do really good, and the Polysoup is right below it. Not to mention the skin itself looks amazing with the color shifting. I got myself a minimal wear for about $13, but the field tested is not all that visually different for about $7.50, which is what I recommend. The only thing to consider is that the armory is still dropping these, so prices may vary quite rapidly without warning. Remember, Valve doesn't usually do dumb stuff, but we still don't really know what their plan is for the armory. The graphic collection could be sitting in there for the next 2 years for all we know, which is why I put it down here despite it being one of my favorite picks. Okay, number 6 is kind of an odd one. In the skins I didn't know existed video, we looked at the 5.7 anodized gunmetal, and I think it belongs on this list. There's 27,500 in existence, and a factory new will cost you about $13. But I bet nobody is going to know what it is, and if that's your goal, this is a great skin to pick up, even if it's a little pricey. It's in the Alpha collection, which I mix up with the Militia collection way too often, but the skins above it are like the FAMAS Spitfire, which is a super clean skin by the way, and the Scar Emerald. But back to this thing, if you're going for an Elige style inventory, this skin is for you. I bet it looks insanely good with a vanilla knife. It is quite boring though, which is my only knock against it. Okay, so I personally think the top 5 are all really amazing picks, starting with the Dualies Demolition. This is the rarest Dualies skin you can get in the game with 13,000 700 on float. And the lowest float you can get is 0.26, which places it in field tested, but I recommend getting a well-worn, which you are seeing here for about $6.25. These were in my last video also, because not many people talk or care about the old Vertigo collection outside of the black laminate, but I think that kind of adds to this skin. But I already talked about these, so at number 4, people might throw some hands, but I gotta go with the Mac 10 Commuter. Valve did not need to go as hard as they did with the baggage collection, but they did, and I'm glad for that. So the Commuter is a light blue with 13,200 registered. It's got that leathery look to it that makes the baggage collection so unique, plus it's got that plaid pattern on top. I would personally buy a field tested for $8 to $10, but if you want a minimal wear, it'll only cost you about $13. It's super clean in both wears though, so it's not a big deal. Like I said, some people might throw hands at this pick, but I just love it so much. It is very nice. Baggage collection enjoyers, rise up! We have arrived at the top 3, and I think these are all so close they could be swapped around. But first up, at number 3, I gotta go with the Souvenir P250 Digital Architect. Another Vertigo collection, but this time it's the 2021. There's a pitiful 11,600 of these registered, meaning there's less of these registered than both the Fire Serpent and Deagle Blaze, which are both hanging around the mid-20,000s. It also makes it the rarest skin in this video, and hey, it looks pretty good. But it is important to note that if Vertigo is rotated back into the map pool, which I don't see why it wouldn't be, apart from both pros and casuals hating it, basically what I'm saying is the souvenirs would still drop, but probably not a lot of them, seeing as a lot of people do not like this collection. Kinda like the map, heh. But don't worry, 2021 Vertigo collection, I love you. You have the imminent danger. And one more thing, the non-souvenir version is just out of price range because of trade-ups, so if you don't like the stickers that come with the souvenir, you can just scrape them. It's only $12 for a field tested. Literally, no one is going to care if you scrape some Antwerp stickers. Sorry, Antwerp. Alright, at number 2 is an all-time favorite skin for me that I have yet to buy, and that's the Souvenir Usp-s Road Rash. What can I say about this thing that hasn't already been said? Okay, maybe I can say a little. It's definitely possible to get this thing for under $20, just not in non-souvenir anymore. Well-worn souvenirs are about $16 to $19 if you wait, and it is definitely worth waiting. Remember, the Overpass collection has been replaced. This thing is probably never going to drop again. The well-worns still look great. You're looking at one now, and there's 45,000 registered on float, making them one of the more common skins in this video, but I still think this is an amazing pickup. And for number 1, I gotta go with the Glock Brass and field tested for about $18 to $20. The reason I put this as number 1 is because on my skins I didn't know existed video, I got a lot of comments saying how good this skin looked, and I think I gotta agree. In field tested, it doesn't look as good as some of the lower floats, but this is within price range, so here it is. It is a purple in the Dust collection, making it equal to the Blaze in terms of rarity, because they share a top spot with the P2000 Scorpion as well. Yeah, there's 3 purple skins in this collection and no pinks. I've said it before, but this is a very, very strange collection. I say that about a lot of the old collections though. Despite its rarity, it's definitely not the flashiest skin, but I think that adds to its aura personally, and that goes for all of the skins here. Well, there you have it, my top 10 picks for cheap and rare skins in Counter-Strike. Definitely let me know if there's anything you think I missed, but I'm pretty sure this is about as good as you can get for under $20. Well, looks like you made it to the case opening. If you see any skins from this video you like, remember, you can find them on Skinsearch. Link is in the description and a pinned comment. Huge thank you for watching this video all the way through, and if you make it here, why not drop a like and subscribe? It's free and it helps out a lot. As for the case, I have wasted about $80 on cases and gained back about this much. That is enough to buy a minimal wear Neon Rider.